somewhat different from what you may be used to. Fun in Japan is getting out, seeing the sights, doing whatever it is that's going to be done. Those who partake of the offerings do so, usually elbow to elbow. But having fun is not limited to merely one season here, nor is one American import that has had no problems with tariffs or duties. In fact, millions of Japanese troop to the ballparks every summer. And with only a few local touches and slight rule changes, the game played here is the same as that played in Shea Stadium or Candlestick Park. The Japanese take the game seriously and have done so since it was first introduced by American missionaries here in the late 1800s. When professional baseball got started here in 1934, the U.S. major leagues were the model and still are. Two 6-team leagues play a 130-game schedule. The winners meet in the Japan Series. A victory there is celebrated much as a World Series title would be at home. Over the past 3 decades, Japanese baseball has taken on an even slightly more American appearance. Some 250 former major leaguers have swung bats here for local teams. The latest addition to the list, former Atlanta Braves star Bob Horner. Horner made his debut in local baseball last week and was a big hit, both figuratively and literally. During his first 3 games in the Yakult Swallows uniform, Horner blasted 4 home runs. To the former Atlanta player, there's not that much difference from calling Tokyo's Jingu Stadium home and playing home games in Atlanta's Fulton County Stadium. At least not yet.
I've been playing baseball long enough to know that baseball is baseball and just go play as hard as I can.
Former Montreal Expo, Warren Cromartie, has been playing ball here a little longer than Horner, about 3 years longer. Did Warren experience any problems in adjusting to the game as played on this side of the Pacific?
Quite a few. Down from the money part of it, the exchange of money, down to the communication, to the transportation, the food, you know, the difference in time and everything, you know. Language problem is slow, difficult at times, but they try really hard. You know, you try to communicate in English, and they break English down to you in their particular way, so you go pretty much by acting.
Cromartie has apparently picked up his acting cues well. He's still a popular figure on the Tokyo Giants ball club. Japanese rules limit American players to 2 per team, something local sports writer Wayne Gratzik is in favor of.
I think if they had an unlimited number of American players allowed in Japanese baseball, it would sort of take away from the theme of it being Japanese.
But where is all this homegrown talent coming from? For a large part, from high schools. Each summer, Japan comes to a virtual standstill as 3,791 teams enter the high school championship tournament. 2 weeks later, 3,790 of them are losers. But that 2-week period is a baseball fan's dream come true. There are the cheers and tears. The caliber of play can rank right up there with the professionals. Just how good are the Japanese? Well, New York Mets manager Davey Johnson led a team of U.S. All-Stars here last fall.
I said 10 years ago that I thought the Japanese baseball was catching up to the Major League Baseball. And this should be a good test.
The results of that test showed there was still a bit of catching up to do. But as Atlanta's Dale Murphy pointed out, it's not a one-way street.
I think, maybe we'll show the Japanese people something, but I'm sure that we'll learn a lot from the Japanese.
One thing that could be learned is a real respect for training and teamwork, something the Japanese have developed into an art form, even indoors. But like so many things, that virtue can be carried too far. Former L.A. Dodger and former Tokyo Giant Reggie Smith saw that very virtue as perhaps a problem.
It's mainly due to the fact that they've never really had the opportunity to express the individuality, something that you need to improve yourself to be able to play the game in a team concept. Here it's all team, so therefore every movement and all movements that they make are pretty much orchestrated and developed by someone else.
But that's something the fans here apparently don't worry about. After all, it is a Japanese trait. The fans here are much like those at home. High on their list of priorities are a good game, rooting for the home team, and enjoying themselves. Something most usually do.
And that's This Week in Japan. For Vacationing Mark Domich, I'm John Lewis, CNN in Tokyo.